Hello, hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to end up continuing with solving with inverse trig. There's going to be an additional extra step. Okay, so if you notice, we have an example right here dealing with tangent. And now we have a shift. We have theta plus 5 pi over 4. And we're looking for a tangent in terms of what it equals root 3 over 3. So that's what we have to see first, is when is tangent. We're going to treat the part in parentheses. We're going to say this is x. So this is like our new, this whole thing is our new theta, okay? So when is that? What would x be equal to? And so if I look at here, I'm looking for when I have that I'm dividing 1/2. Remember, tangent is sine over cosine. So I'm taking 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. So the first x would equal pi over 6, right? So I'm going to look for this same relationship because I want positive. And the only other time, well, if we go directly, remember they're symmetrical, this would be negative. But if I go down, that's going to be positive. So this would be another time. So x could either be pi over 6 or x could be 7 pi over 6. Okay, remember we're going from 0 to 2 pi. So those are the two times that I have tangent equal to. So now what we're doing is tangent of x equals root 3 over 3. Okay? Now that I found my x, that's going to help me find my theta. So I'm going to set up an equation. I'm going to put theta plus five pi over 4 equals pi over 6, which is my first x, right? Okay? Before we move on, let's find out the period. The period of tangent. Remember, it's always pi over b. And in this case, the b value is just 1. So the period of tangent is just pi. Okay? So now, what do we do to solve for theta in this case? We subtract 5 pi over 4 from both sides. Okay? So now I get theta equals pi over 6 I do apologize. My pen is not working really well. Minus 5 pi over 4. And remember, in order for us to subtract this, we need common denominator. And so my common denominator in this case, it's 12. So what do I do with 6? I multiply it by 2. We already multiplied by the numerator, I have to multiply by the denominator. And I multiply 4 by 3. If your calculator automatically does this, go ahead and just use your calculator, okay? So if I do pi over 6 minus 5 pi over 4, then I get 2 pi over 12 minus 15 pi over 12. So what does that equal? We have that theta. If I were to subtract those, I have theta equals negative 13 pi over 12. But remember, my criteria has to be between 0 to 2 pi, and that's not 0 to 2 pi. That's where your period takes into account. So now I'm going to take negative 13 pi over 12. And I'm going to add pi. So if I'm adding pi and I want common denominator, I multiply by 12. So once I have that, negative 13 pi over 12 plus 12 pi over 12 is negative pi over 12. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Now that I know what pi is, we're just going to add 12 pi over 12. And that equals 11 pi over 12. So that's my first theta, is 11 pi over 12. Now if I add pi over 12 again, add pi over 12 again, so, or 12, I'm sorry, 12 pi over 12, I get 23 pi over 12. So those are my two answers. Theta equals 11 pi over 12 and 23 pi over 12. Supposed to be a 3. Okay, so those are the two values. And if I end up doing the same thing, plugging in for x equals 7 pi over 6, you're going to notice that you also get 11 pi over 12. Okay, so I'm not going to show you that one. Let's go on to the next one. On the next one, we have that sine negative 2 theta equals square root of 2 over 2. So again, we treat this part right here as x. Okay, that part right there we treat it as x. So x could equal, using our unit circle, it could equal pi over 4 or 3 pi over 4. Then also remember that the period of sine is 2 pi over b. And in this case, b is 2. So my period is just pi. Okay? And then we have our period is pi. So now we're going to do our x, set up our x, -2 theta, a plus pi over 4, divide by -2. This part, just do it on your calculator. Theta. Okay, so we have that theta equals -pi/8 and theta equals -3pi/8. Okay, I put in the 3pi/4 already. And we divide by -2. Now, if you notice, both of them are negative, so I still need to add now to my period. So I'm going to add from -pi/8, I'm going to add my period, which we said it was pi. If I want common denominator in both cases, my denominator needs to be 8, so I multiply this by 8. And since I did that on that side, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to automatically, if I add by pi, I'm actually adding by 8pi/8. Okay, so then in this case, once I add -pi/8 plus 8pi/8, that is equal to 7pi/8. Over here, we get 5pi/8. Again, because we gotta go all the way to 2 pi, we add 8pi/8 again. 7pi/8 plus 8pi/8 is 15pi/8. And then 5pi/8 plus 8pi/8, that is 13pi/8. Okay, so these are the 4 values that theta could be. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, send me an email. Thank you.